A strong mind doesn't make noise. It doesn't shout, it doesn't argue, and it definitely doesn't react on impulse. Mel Robbins, one of the world's leading experts on personal transformation, discovered something fascinating about true mental strength. It's not what most people think. It's not about resisting everything or enduring endless pressure. It's something much more subtle and much more powerful. It's about acting with absolute clarity, even when everything around you is in chaos. That's what scares people. Encountering someone who doesn't lose their composure, who doesn't crave validation, and who simply doesn't get dragged into the drama. If you want to develop this kind of presence, this kind of mental solidity that makes a real difference in your life, then subscribe to the channel right now. What you're going to learn today isn't about appearances or intimidation. It's about building a mental structure so solid that it naturally inspires respect and appropriate distance from the right people. But before we delve into the pillars of a truly strong mind, I need to warn you about a devastating mistake most people make. A mistake that destroys mental strength before it even begins to form. Many people confuse mental strength with being an emotional punching bag. They think mental strength means enduring everything, tolerating anything, swallowing every offense, and absorbing all the negativity that comes their way. According to Mel Robbins, that's not mental strength. That's programmed burnout. It's a guaranteed recipe for emotional and mental burnout. A truly strong mind doesn't absorb everything. It chooses. It filters. It consciously decides where to put its energy and attention. It knows which battles are worth fighting, and most importantly, it knows which battles to simply ignore or completely walk away from. This requires a level of emotional maturity that few develop, but when you develop this ability to choose your battles, your life changes drastically. Comment below right now with the words, "I choose clarity." This isn't just a phrase, it's a conscious decision that will begin to transform your mental posture immediately. When you choose clarity instead of reacting, when you choose to think instead of exploding, you are exercising a mental muscle that few people develop. And the more you exercise this muscle, the stronger it becomes. The first pillar of a mind that frightens with its strength is emotional self-control under pressure. Mentally weak people react to the first emotion that arises. Someone says something they don't like, and they instantly explode. They receive criticism, and they desperately defend themselves. They face a difficult situation, and they panic immediately. Mentally strong people do the exact opposite. They pause. They observe the situation. They analyze the options, and only then do they decide how to respond, if they will respond at all. This pause, this moment of breathing before reacting, is where the whole difference between mental strength and weakness lies. Mel Robbins teaches that this pause is pure power. When you don't react immediately, you completely take away the power of anyone trying to destabilize you. Imagine the scene. Someone provokes you expecting an explosive reaction, an argument, a drama, but instead, you simply stop, breathe, look at the person calmly, and either respond in a measured way or simply don't respond at all. This leaves the other person completely disarmed. She doesn't know how to react because the script she expected, the drama she wanted to create, simply didn't happen. This ability to maintain emotional control under pressure doesn't develop overnight. It's a skill that needs to be consciously developed. Every time you feel a strong emotion rising, anger, frustration, anxiety, practice pausing. Count to 3 before speaking. Take a deep breath before reacting. Over time, this pause becomes natural, automatic. And when it becomes automatic, you develop a presence that naturally inspires respect because people perceive that you are not easily destabilized or emotionally manipulated. The second pillar of a strong mind is establishing silent and consistent boundaries. Here's another concept most people don't understand. A strong mind doesn't threaten. It doesn't say what it's going to do. It simply acts differently. When someone crosses a line, a mentally weak person will yell, explain why it's wrong, make a drama, threaten consequences. A mentally strong person simply reduces that person's access to their life, ends unproductive conversations without elaborate explanations. Protect your time and focus without negotiation. According to Mel Robbins, boundaries that need to be explained too much become an invitation to negotiation. When you're constantly explaining, justifying, and trying to convince someone to respect your boundaries, you've already lost. Because true boundaries are non-negotiable. They simply exist and are maintained through actions, not words. Think of it this way. You don't need to explain to a dog why it can't get on the sofa. You simply don't let it get on the sofa, consistently, every time, without exception. It's the same with people. You don't need to give a seminar on respect every time someone disrespects you. You simply act differently with that person. Reduce contact, limit access, change your energy. This silent consistency is much more powerful than any explanation or direct confrontation. And the most interesting thing is that when you act this way, people quickly learn where your limits are without you needing to give a lecture on the subject. The third pillar, and perhaps the most frightening for people, is independence from external validation. When you need constant approval from others, your mind becomes completely vulnerable. Other people's opinions begin to govern your decisions, your moods, even your self-esteem. People with strong minds listen to opinions, yes. They consider feedback when it's constructive, but they don't live as hostages to applause, nor do they die from criticism. They have such a solid inner center that external validation is a bonus, not a necessity. Mel Robbins teaches that those who validate themselves internally don't break externally. This emotional independence is what scares people the most because most live in a constant search for approval. So when they find someone who genuinely doesn't need their approval, it generates a mixture of admiration and intimidation. This independence from external validation doesn't mean being arrogant or completely disregarding the opinions of others. It means having such clear and solid internal criteria that you can filter which opinions deserve your consideration and which you can simply ignore. It means knowing who you are, what you want, and where you're going, regardless of what others think about your choices. When you develop this inner strength, your presence changes completely. You don't try to please everyone. You don't change your mind based on the last person you spoke to. You don't constantly explain or justify yourself. You simply exist authentically and consistently, and this naturally creates an aura of strength that people immediately perceive. Now let's talk about the effect a truly strong mind has on its surroundings. When your mind strengthens itself by following these pillars, several interesting things begin to happen. First, drama simply loses its power in your life. People who constantly create conflict realize you're not an easy target and naturally back away. Second, intrusive people automatically retreat. They sense you have clear and consistent boundaries, so they stop trying to manipulate or control you. Third, your mere presence carries weight. When you enter a room, people notice, not because you're trying to get attention or intimidate someone, but because you carry an energy of solidity and authenticity that is rare these days. This effect doesn't happen because you're being aggressive or hostile. In fact, mentally strong people tend to be calmer and more centered than average. What's frightening isn't aggression, it's imperturbability. It's the ability to remain centered when everyone around you is losing their minds. It's the ability to not be emotionally manipulated when someone is clearly trying to destabilize you. It is this inner strength that makes certain people feel uncomfortable around you, especially those who are used to controlling others through drama, emotional manipulation, or blackmail. Now comment on the words, "I stand by my position." This commitment to yourself is fundamental. Standing by your position means not giving in to social pressure when you know you are right. It means not backing down on your boundaries just because someone is being dramatic. It means keeping your energy high even when others are trying to pull you down. When you make this commitment to yourself and consistently honor it, you develop a reputation for reliability and strength that people deeply respect. But it's important to understand that building a strong mind doesn't mean hardening your heart. There is a fundamental difference between mental strength and emotional coldness. Mentally strong people are not insensitive. In fact, they are often more empathetic and understanding than average because they are not constantly reacting to their own uncontrolled emotions. They have the emotional capacity available to truly listen to and support others when needed. The difference is that they choose when and how to express that empathy instead of being emotionally hijacked by any situation that arises. Mel Robbins teaches that true mental strength stems from three fundamental elements: clarity about who you are and what you want, clear and consistent boundaries about what you accept and don't accept in your life, and conscious action based on principles instead of emotional reactions. When you stop reacting to everything and start consciously choosing where to put your energy, your life changes dramatically. You no longer waste emotional energy on situations that don't deserve your attention. You no longer allow yourself to be pulled into dramas that don't contribute to your growth. You no longer allow other people to determine your mood or your self-esteem. And yes, this scares certain people. It specifically scares those who feed off your emotional chaos. Those who depend on seeing you out of control to feel superior. Those who can only respect you when you are reacting emotionally to their provocations. When you stop providing this emotional fuel, when you stop playing their game, they become uncomfortable because they lose control over you. But it also attracts other people. People who value emotional maturity. People who respect boundaries. People who admire authenticity and consistency. As you develop true mental strength, you naturally attract healthier relationships and distance yourself from toxic ones. Not because you're consciously being selective, but because your energy has shifted and you now resonate with a different kind of person. You don't need to prove your strength to anyone. In fact, the more you try to prove you're strong, the more insecurity you demonstrate. True mental strength is silent. It manifests through consistent actions, not through dramatic declarations or displays. It's like the saying, "Lions don't need to roar to show they're lions." When you have genuine mental strength, it's obvious in your actions, your decisions, and how you handle pressure and adversity. Sustaining this strength silently is an art. It means not bragging when you maintain your composure in a difficult situation. It means not telling everyone how you set boundaries with that difficult person. It simply means living according to your principles consistently, knowing internally that you're building something solid, even if others don't immediately perceive or acknowledge it. This isn't coldness. On the contrary, it's emotional maturity in action. It's the ability to love without losing yourself in the other person. It's the skill to care without being codependent. It's the strength to support others without unnecessarily sacrificing yourself. It's knowing when to help and when to allow others to face the consequences of their own choices. It's having compassion without being an emotional doormat. When you develop this kind of emotional maturity, you become a stabilizing presence in the lives of those around you. In times of crisis, others naturally turn to you because they know you won't panic. In conflict situations, people seek your opinion because they know you won't be biased or overly emotional. In important decisions, others value your advice because they know you think clearly, even under pressure. This is the real strength that frightens, not because it inspires fear, but because it inspires respect. It's the strength that makes manipulative people realize they can't control you. It's the strength that makes dramatic people understand you won't be dragged into their chaos. It's the strength that makes immature people realize you operate on a different level of awareness and personal responsibility. And the most beautiful thing about all this is that this strength is accessible to anyone willing to do the necessary inner work. It's not about being born with some special talent. It's about making the conscious decision to stop reacting impulsively and start responding consciously. It's about setting clear boundaries and consistently maintaining them. It's about developing such a solid inner center that external validation becomes optional rather than essential. Mel Robbins always emphasizes that real change happens through small, consistent actions, not through grand, dramatic gestures. Building a strong mind is exactly like that. It's choosing to pause instead of reacting immediately, once today, again tomorrow, until it becomes natural. It's maintaining a small but important boundary today, another tomorrow, until healthy boundaries become part of who you are. It's validating yourself in a small decision today, another tomorrow, until your self-esteem becomes genuinely independent of the opinions of others. The end result is not a cold or insensitive person. It's a centered, authentic, and emotionally mature person. A person who can love deeply without losing themselves. A person who can support others without becoming exhausted. A person who can face adversity without being destroyed by it. a person whose mere presence inspires others to raise their own level of maturity and personal responsibility. That's the mind that scares, not by inspiring fear, but by inspiring growth and self-reflection in everyone around. And that mind can be yours if you are willing to do the work necessary to build it, one day at a time, one choice at a time, one conscious response at a time.